Yo, what's up, guys? So, this week, no toy hunt, no toy paradise, unfortunately. Uh, just been tired, busy, and a bit just not feeling it. We did go to a few places, the normal stuff. I did pick up a couple things, but I'm gonna wait till this week. We'll see what happens with. Well, we should be doing something this week. Uh, we'll see what happens next week, May 5th. We're definitely hitting up the Toy Expo at Alamo Hotel. So can't wait for that. I've actually been putting together a list of things I'm looking for, things I want to collect. I honestly don't think I'll be finding them there, but slowly I am going to try and collect everything I can. And I don't know what the future holds, but I know we can't take our money when we leave mortality. So I'm just gonna try to be as happy as I can, but at the same time trying to save money. Definitely gonna try and save for June. That would probably be $300 to $400 if they come out with uh, the Cobra Rattler for HasLabs, which honestly I'm like I've been saying, this is what I've been feeling. Uh, some of the things for the X-Men X-Mansion from Legos has leaked. I'm a little excited about it and a little bit, I guess, held back. It's gonna be about $300, $350 maybe. So they've been trying to put together an idea of what it's going to be, and in all honesty, they're saying it's going to be about the same as the Daily Bugle and the Doctor Strange's home. As far as the amount of pieces go, uh, Daily Planet or Daily Bugle was only 4 floors, I believe, but they were pretty narrow floors. I believe the Doctor Strange is 2 stories, maybe 3 stories, a little bit bigger. So honestly, what I'm thinking is it's going to be a two-parter. Pretty much what they did with the Spider-Man. Uh, Not the Daily Bugle, but the Statue of Liberty. I think we're going to get the X-Mansion. And it's probably going to be as big as Doctor Strange's house. A pretty good size. And then possibly next year, maybe 200, the Danger Room and Cerebro will be sold separately. I'm excited, and hopefully I'm wrong, but that's the vibe I'm getting from what everybody's been rumoring about. Uh, Honestly, if I pick up the X Mansion, I'm probably not going to pick up the Avengers Tower and just pick up the Daily Bugle down the line, hopefully. There's a lot of things that I want to purchase, so we'll see how everything works out. A lot of old school stuff, which is why we're doing this retro rewind. Oh, and also the trailer for Transformers 1 came out. I'm excited because next month is the anniversary for Transformers, the cartoon, I believe. So in theaters, there's going to be the three-part miniseries, Roll For It, and the episode 4, The Bridge. I forgot what it was called, Bridge to something. Bridge to Oblivion. That will be in theaters with a few extras. Uh, Transformers 1 is going to be in October. So a lot of you probably don't know the entire story of the Transformers, even if you've read the comics, played with the toys. This is supposed to be way before Autobots and Decepticons. When Optimus was known as Orion Pax, and Megatron was D16, a gladiator. Honestly, the gladiator. Uh, so the trailer that they came out with is much more of a buddy film. There are some comedy spots, there are some dark spots. This is before they can transform. The Quintessons are the enemies. They show up with a bunch of Seekers and Predacons, I guess. Well, they show up with their army. Also seen Sharktacons. Uh, Megatron, Bumblebee, Optimus, and I think Elita 1 go on a journey outside the city, find Alphatron. In all honesty, one of the first Autobots or first Transformers. I'm I'm kind of on the fence of it knowing the full story, because if you actually know the full story of how they became to be, it is a very darker version of it. But it's Transformers, and it's animated, so I'm kind of going to watch it. I'm feeling the vibe. After watching the trailer, though, it feels like it has some connection to the new Transformers game, Revelations, that's coming out. So I can't wait to see how that comes out. Should be great for both of them, hopefully. But anyway, what we're doing today is showing you a few of the older G.I. Joe toys that I have, so I can actually start hanging them up. Hopefully do some mailbox. Got more stuff coming in. It's insane. But yeah, I've got a bunch of our old school G.I. Joes. And, well, right behind of that door I'm gonna hang them up. As you can see on the side, I kind of have both of me the uh, Star Wars figures, Vader and Palpatine. So I wanted to put up my G.I. Joes. So a while back, G.I. Joe did a series called Valor versus Venom. For some strange reason, the figures look smaller than what it should be. I did, however, pick up a 2-pack for Stalker and Firefly. This is the back. They have a picture of Stalker, Sergeant Stalker, a little file card inside. They talk about G.I. Joe. The America's daring, highly trained Special Mission Force faces a fearsome new threat from the evil Cobra organization. Dr. Mindbender has joined the DNA of Cobra fighters with that of Earth's savage creatures, creating hybrid warriors. With dangerously superior fighting skills, not really, but to fight the V-Troops, the G.I. Joe team develops advanced battle technology in this really new chapter. So, slicing DNA versus technology. So there is Tunnel Rat, Dusty, Wild Bill, Agent Jinx, Duke. This is the Electric Eel which is basically a version of the eel sliced together with the electric eel more. Zartan, Coil Cruncher, Cobra Splice, the ninja, the Snow Wolf, which is the snow serpent with wolf DNA, and then they have two coming soon, which is General Hawk and Venomous Maximus. Honestly, I would love to get an electric eel, maybe the Snow Wolf, definitely Splice, the Coral Crusher, and Venomous Maximus, all for classifies would be awesome. Uh, yeah, this 2-pack was pretty cool. I picked up because I love Firefly, but I don't know. It's not as great as. So this is the Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Valor versus Venom. Has Storm Shadow. So Duke, High Tech, Heavy Duty, Scarlet, Cobra Commander, looks pretty damn cool. The Cobra Viper, Dr. Mindbender, the Sand Scorpions, which is the Sand Vipers mixed with the Scorpion DNA, came out with a pincher for an arm. It actually was pretty damn cool. Razor Claw, Alley Viper 2, and two more coming soon. I forget who these two were. So if you watch the actual live action G.I. Joe movie that they made, they created Neo Vipers, and those were actually Vipers that was created during this toy line that was before that movie. I do like the way Storm Shadow looks. Not really a big fan of the way Snake Eyes looks. He looks more high tech. Now, with those are the only two Valor versus Venom I honestly picked up. As you can see, this was after my GI. I sold my entire GI Joe collection just to have Firefly, Snake Eyes, and Storm Shadow back in my collection. With that being said, they also came out with a series of 3-packs with the comic books. There are also a 2-pack with comic books, which is pretty great. You could collect them and send away for the Storm Shadow Unmasked. Yes, these are actually the comic books reprinted, the original comic books. This is Scrap Iron, Serpentor, and Firefly. Again, I'm a huge Firefly fan, also a huge Scrap Iron fan. And he looks pretty, well, both of them look pretty close to their original toys. Serpentor looks off. He has like a more greenish outfit with just a little touch of gold. This is the comic book where Destro and Mindbender actually raid the tombs to create Serpentor. On the back, you do have 3 file cards for each of the characters. A small briefing of what's going on, as well as look for more comics, advertisement. This was right after the Valor versus Venom. I think these will look better up there. Also got the 3-pack of the Red Ninja Viper, Snake Eyes, and Storm Shadow. Storm Shadow looks very similar to his original figure, except like I said, these seem a little bit smaller than I remember it. Snake Eyes looks like his original Commando look from the original 13, except instead they decided to add in some gray. On the back, same thing. 3 file cards, advertisement. For those who don't know, this comic book is actually one of my favorite of all the comics, because that comic book had no bubbles. Nobody spoke in that comic. It was a silent comic, I guess, paying homage to Charlie Chaplin movies, the old movies. So Scarlet got captured by the Cobra, and Snake Eyes went in to save her, rescue her. The final battle was basically Snake Eyes versus Storm Shadow, the entire comic, or most of it, with Snake Eyes beating a lot of the Cobra troops. It was pretty brutal. But since Snake Eyes can't talk, the whole comic was silent. There was no bubbles at all, which was amazing to see how they could translate the action into something you want to see. Of course, I had to pick up on this version of Snake Eyes versus Storm Shadow. It is the 25th anniversary comic pack. That was never a comic book for the Marvel series. So a part of me wants to open it up and read it. As you can see, Snake Eyes has taken battle damage. Storm Shadow has a red cloak on him. It is silence between borders. This is from Larry Hama's new story, Silence Between Borders. Gives us light talk about it. Talks about the G.I. Joe 25th anniversary. Mail-in exclusive for Doc. And the 2 comic books other than this. So you got A Bad Day at the Circus with Seamont and Tomax. A Day in the Life of Springfield. And I think this... So I'm not sure who the Joe is. I think it might be either Flint or Falcon. And I think that is Fred, the Crimson Guard that took over for Cobra Commander. So in the comic book, if you don't know, the Crimson Guards were all clones of Fred. Literally all of them were Fred. So the Crimson Guards became pretty much the Stormtroopers. Now, if you don't know who Fred is, it is a very epic and dark and twisted story. As I've also picked up this. It's a little bit, I guess, dirt inside. There's a little paint that came off when they put it in. This is G.I. Joe Comic Book 2 from the Marvel series. The first appearance ever of Quinn. Comes with Quinn, Snake Eyes, and Scarlet. The bios cards. Look for Marvel Comics. Insane. So that brings us to our singles. The 25th anniversary of Firefly. As I said, I'm a huge Firefly fan. The entire idea that he looked like a ninja, but was an explosive expert, had me rolling. You know, the ninjas are supposed to be silent, but bombs are not. When I first seen him as a kid, it just got to me. So he became one of my favorites. On the back, Firefly's bio card, as well as the character list. Beachhead, Lady J, Dreadnought Buzzer, Serpentor, Cobra. Well, it says Cobra Enemy, but that is the Cobra Officer. The weirdest version of Zartan. Shipwreck. Well, I've seen weirder versions, but Stalker, Jinx, and Firefly. I just hated the look of his outfit. Snake Eyes, Arctic Troop. He has a parka and Quinn's skull necklace. Bio card, Serpentor, Cobra Enemy, Cobra Officer, Firefly, Jinx, Stalker, Shipwreck, Zartan, Old School Snake Eyes, the Iron Grenadier, Destro, Crimson Guard, Snowjob, Sergeant Flash, Cobra Commander, Cobra Air Trooper, Roadblock, Gung Ho, Scarlet, regular Destro, Duke, and Storm Shadow. So if they are doing a HasLab Cobra Rattler, the 4 characters I would love to see come with it would be Wild Weasel, the Cobra Air Trooper, the Para Viper, and for the female, Evie, the female Range Viper. Because I don't want another Baroness, even in a flight suit. Although I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. But I think Evie would be a better choice, especially Range Viper as a gunner. So the 2 figures, of course, I have left. Storm Shadow, 25th anniversary, looks pretty close to its original outlook. Same backing as the Arctic Snake Eyes file. And I mean, come on. Looking at this, you know who my last figure is. Although I do want a Zartan, just not. I would love to get the Dreadnoks. I'm a huge Dreadnought fan. And a huge Ninja fan, so. Snake Eyes and Timber. Snake Eyes version 2. He looks pretty much the same. Snake Eyes and Timber, Flint, Cobra Commander, but the mask version, Cobra Officer, but it's actually a trooper outfit, and the G.I. Joe version of Storm Shadow. And you can kind of see the shadows of these, so you know what's coming next. The last Toy Expo at the Honolulu Ala Moana Hotel had a guy selling some old school G.I. Joe figures. He did have a couple Dreadnoks, so I'm kind of hoping he comes back. I might pick up the Dreadnoks. But this is my collection, or the retro collection of the retro Joes that I have, that I started collecting after I sold all my G.I. Joes. I've been trying to collect only certain characters, as you guys see. And Classifieds kind of got away with me, so getting back to the Fred storyline, the comics was a lot worse than any cartoon or any story you've ever heard. Fred got tired of being a Crimson Guard, just another number, so he left Cobra. About the same time, Snake Eyes left the Joes, Destro and Cobra Commander left Cobra. Destro went home for a bit. Cobra Commander went on a journey to find someone, his son, from what I remember, Billy. Uh, Destro came back to Cobra without a leader. Him and Mindbender created Serpentor to lead Cobra. About the same time, Fred meets Crystal Ball and Raptor, and he decides he wants to lead Cobra. So he finds the battle armor of Cobra Commander, dons it, and returns to Cobra to lead the Cobra troopers. Which turns out half Cobra went with Fred as Cobra Commander, the other half went with Serpentor. As a couple issues go by, they have a huge Cobra civil war. One of them decides to bring in G.I. Joe to try and end the war. About this time, Cobra Commander, the real Cobra Commander, returns. Zartan kills Serpentor with an arrow to the head for Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander kills Fred. And then he throws all of the Cobra troopers and generals that followed Serpentor into a battleship and sinks it. Part of that is his son Billy and Zartan. The entire story was supposed to bring back Serpentor with a group of loyalists called the Coil, but I believe about that time they decided to stick with Cobra Commander. That Serpentor was not reaching the audience he was supposed to, so they dropped the entire storyline, and I honestly would have loved to see Cobra versus the Coil. But that was back when they actually had some great writers, great story. But yeah, this is so far my old school G.I. Joe collection. I hope you guys saw something that might interest you. I believe a few of these are still on eBay. You could probably find a few of the Cobra or the Valor versus Venom characters. There was a small animated movie for the series. It was on VHS, Valor vs. Venom. It was actually a pretty good story. Better than Spy Trooper. But the figures, well, the idea of splicing DNA, animal DNA into the Cobra Troopers were awesome, and the troopers actually look pretty intimidating. The toys, on the other hand, was not. I definitely love these 25th anniversary looking, because they bring me back to when I was a kid. I also love these comic book versions, especially with specific comic books like G.I. Joe #2, The Birth of Serpentor, The Silent Intruder. The Dreadnoks, I think it was Ripper and Buzzer, comes with the Marvel comic, the first appearance of the Dreadnoks, which is pretty damn cool. No, I am not opening any of these. I don't know why. That's why I'm gonna try and hang them. Uh, Give me a sec. So guys, so far this is the wall. As you see, I got my classifieds. Still kind of cleaning everything, putting everything. Once we get everything up, there will be something special on those 4 pegs. So I have literally 3 pegs left. Hopefully get the retro classified Snake Eyes, and when he comes out, Firefly. So things are definitely it looks pretty insane. Question is, what's going to be there? And there will be possibly other places. What do you guys think?